Brothers, we living in a world where the works of Satan, the works of Lucifer is at its heights. You know, everything is all agenda driven. Everything is all based in concepts and constructs that they want people to adhere to conform to. There's nothing sincere about these stories that you hear about, for the most part, when it comes to what's disseminated. And on this YouTube channel here, Truly, which has 10 million subscribers, they're pushing this agenda-driven story, this social engineering story about a feminine so-called black man who's heterosexual, quote unquote, and a masculine so-called white woman who's heterosexual, quote unquote. But when it comes to their history, they talk about how, in the case of the black man, he identified as gay at one point just so it can be a scapegoat in regards to why people question his sexuality. And the white woman said that she's dated women in the past. So this is how you know that this is agenda driven. This isn't something that's normal in regards to relationship dynamics. A black man who's feminine most likely is a faggot. But in this society, they want you to think that you can still be a heterosexual black man and be feminine. They're trying to zesty up these genders. It's so much confusion in this world. Like, my goodness, there's so much confusion in this fucking world. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, man.
This is Merrin. She fell in love with James.
I'm a masculine presenting woman.
And I am a feminine presenting straight man.
I am a feminine presenting straight man. That doesn't even make any sense. And why do you have to present yourself as such? Like, shouldn't you just say that this is who you are? I am a man. My name is such and such. And this woman should be like, I'm a woman and this is my name is such and such. The reason why they got to do that is because they want you to feel like these things are okay. Like you should adhere or conform to this type of new normal or new dynamic within, you know, basic rudimentary elements of a relationship when it comes to how they're attacking traditional values, how they're attacking the traditional aspect of relationships. You know, they tell you that there's no roles associated with genders. But in this case, you have a feminine man and a masculine woman. And they present this to you as if it's some sort of like paradox or glitch in the matrix where, oh, hey, like you can be a man too and be feminine, and you can be a woman too and be masculine. But they'll tell you on the other hand that there's no roles associated with genders. But intrinsically, we understand, everybody on the world understands that women are naturally feminine and men are naturally masculine. So that's how you know that it's just a contradiction. They just push all these things because they want you to think that you're not equal to a woman and vice versa, or you are equal to a woman and vice versa. That's all it's about. And in this case here, like, pay attention. You see the black man is the feminine one. And the white woman is the masculine one. And they coming together as above, so below. They're bringing together of opposites, as well as when it comes to this agenda and this whole dichotomy between the black and the white, as far as the races, they already know what this is about. They already know what type of picture they want to put out, they want to convey. That's why you see all these biracial dynamics when it comes to these commercials. And in this case, it's biracial, or it's interracial, excuse me, that's what I wanted to say. It's interracial, as well as a construct that's not normal. So this is confusion on top of confusion, agendas on top of agendas. That's all it is. That's all it is. This man or this male right here at one point in time identified as a gay man because he said that it was a scapegoat in regards to why people were incredulous to his sexuality or why people questioned it. But to me, I believe that this person was actually gay, was actually exploring in that type of depravity. And he wants to make it seem as if like you can just be this way and not be gay. Like, bro, stop it. Stop it. Satan shall come down with great wrath because he knows that he hath but a short time. making a fucking mockery of the black man by zesting his ass up, effeminizing him. He's with a woman that's butch. Like, this shit is so wrong on so many levels. And these docile, idiotic people who are easily impressed upon, they see this and they don't have a problem with it. Like, when you read the comments, you see people say, well, they're just going against stereotypes. If they, if they love each other, then leave them be. All it is this feminine man is attracted to masculinity and this masculine woman is attracted to femininity. Well, why don't you continue to be a dyke? And why don't you be a faggot? Why don't you just let people know that that's what y'all actually are? But no, producers had to put you people together so y'all can push y'all bullshit agenda and make people think that it's okay for them to get down with this type of dynamic of, hey, I'm a man and I'm still heterosexual, but I can be feminine. And hey, I'm a woman and I'm still a woman, but I can be masculine. I can be a butch. I can play the man role in the relationship with this man. It's so much confusion. And it's all about attacking traditional values, the basic rudimentary aspect in how we live when it comes to the dynamic between men and women, relationships and what have you. Everything is contrary to that in these last days, in Satan's kingdom, in Lucifer's kingdom.
I guess people perceive us as weird as a couple because we don't follow the regular status quo. And we don't look like how they want us to look.
We don't look like how they want us to look. Why are you worried about them? Why are you worried about how they look at you? That's how you know that it's agenda driven. Because it's all about this rebellious aspect. They want us to look a certain way, but we're fighting against that. And when you talk about they, you talking about the people that's in their right mind, the sensible people who see this shit and say, what the fuck is going on? The reason why you have people like that is because the Most High has, pretty much allowed certain people to still see the forest through the trees when it comes to this bugged out ass world. And not just about seeing the forest through the trees, but some people just in their right mind and they see something like that and they say, well, hey, like, this is just wrong. A woman it's nothing wrong with a woman being feminine. And there's nothing wrong with a woman having certain traits that hover on masculinity. You know what I mean? Like, but when you try to make it seem as if this is just you and you were born as this and this is naturally you, it's just bullshit. It's a demon that's on you. That's all it is. Because your natural way is to be nourishing and soft and feminine. Not to say like you a pushover or anything like that, but a woman naturally is soft. She's nourishing. That's why she has a voice that's soft. That's why a woman has the lighter voice. Like, she's supposed to be that way. When you're a woman and you tell yourself that you identify as a man, it's just a demon. That's all it is a demon on your ass. Same thing with men. If you're a man or a young boy and you identify as a girl, or you tell yourself that you're a girl, not identify, I don't want to say that, because you can't identify as that. It's just what the fuck you are. That's like a dog trying to identify as a cat. Like, it's just what you are. So at the end of the day, it's just all about these agendas that's being pushed. That's the point. Like, they just want to push all these agendas on the basic rudimentary aspects of life dynamics. They're trying to zesty it up. That's all it is. They're trying to zesty it up.
Couple met through TikTok, and despite not being each other's usual type,
I was identifying as gay because it was easier than explaining all the ins and outs of who I was.
I've only dated.
What would make it easier than explaining all the ins and outs of who you are? All you have to do is just say, hey, well, this is just me. Like, how can you define, I would combat it by saying, what would you define me being feminine as? I mean, that's if, he was like that at that time. It could have been more toned down. It could have been on a level where he was exploring himself and being more sexual with himself in a fashion where he was, tiptoeing on being with a girl or being with a woman. Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is this person here is being used. This person is just being used because it kind of doesn't even add up when it comes to, okay, you're saying that certain people, or you saying that you had to identify as gay because certain people didn't understand the ins and outs of your sexuality. So what does that even mean? It's like, if you attracted to women, then you're attracted to women. If you're attracted to a man, then you're gay. I mean, what? So it's just like, it's just confusion. That's the point of all this shit. It's just to promote confusion. That's all this is. It's just to promote confusion. I remember one time I was watching a segment about this is how crazy this shit is. It's gonna be even more hard for me to explain it because it's confusion. This person, this woman who was born a woman, quote unquote, transitioned to a man to be with another woman that transitioned to a man. Or was it the other way? It was some kind of weird shit where like these people need serious fucking help. This person transitioned from a quote unquote man to a quote unquote woman to be with a person that was a woman that transitioned to a man, and they raised children together. It was just so fucking bugged out, man. It was just so bugged out to me. And that's the world we living in. We living in a world where it's really like a cartoon. Like you can't take most of this shit serious. And certain people do because they're just so feeble. They're so impressionable. You cannot take this nonsense serious. But what you can do is be aware so you can understand the vibration of this world. That's all it's about, is knowing the vibration of this world and knowing what you need to adhere to. But this shit is just confusion. And it's hard for me to even cover this because it's confusing me. Like it's just crazy.
Girls in the past.
The most frequent question we get is, who is the woman? Or like, who is the girl? Who is the...
You see, like, situations like this and these type of dynamics, you can tell it's just confusion. Who is the woman and who is the man? Well, obviously, you don't even if you was fucking deaf, you could tell that this person is a man and the girl right there on his left side, on my right, is a woman. So it's just all based off of the characters that they're playing, what they're personifying, the energy or, their spirit in regards to the left hand of what they adhere to or what they uphold. Because just off the bat, you can see that this is a man or a male and that person right there is a woman. You don't have to ask, well, who is a man or who is a woman? Because they want you to look at the dynamic as in regards to the characters that they're playing, as opposed to who they are. They pretty much want you to look at life as genderless. That's what they want you to do. They want you to look at life as genderless. They want you to embrace this world where people feel like they don't have to conform to quote unquote gender roles. Like there's roles that are associated with genders. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And there's intrinsic natures that are inherent within us that separate us from one another. But it makes it a beauty because it just describes that these two factions or these two entities come together. They form a union. Man and woman come together like a key and a lock. And they form a union. In this sense, you have a man and woman coming together, but this man is not a fucking real man, and this woman is not a real woman. So much confusion, man.
Boy, who is the man?
I miss you. How was your flight?
I'm hungry.
Hi, I'm Marin, and this is my boyfriend James. I'm a masculine presenting woman.
And I...
Marin, I thought the person's name was Mevrin. In the beginning, it said meet Mevrin. She said it's Marin. That's the person's name. I don't know, man. I believe that this was something that was orchestrated in order for some sort of agenda to be pushed, to make people think that these dynamics are okay and you don't have to conform to the traditional, you being a regular heterosexual man that's masculine. They want to attack that. That's all it is. They want to attack that. They want to alleviate that. So this is why they have these type of segments, because it's all an attack against the heterosexual man that's in his right mind, that understands what the fuck time it is. So they use this black man, and he says something like, "Oh, I'm confused because I'm a feminine man, but I still had to identify as gay because it was a scapegoat for me, because I'm confused about my sexuality." So it's all synonymous. If you're a faggot or a homosexual or transgender or lesbian, it's confusion. That's all it is. That's the common denominator. Confusion. You are confused. I don't care what nobody say. And you could call me whatever the fuck you want. I live in reality. I don't live in this concept-based world. Obviously, we have to dwell here and endure this bullshit, but I try to separate myself from that as much as possible. Because people like that, they can impose that disease on other people who just want to live their life. That's why they teach these kids these things, because they know kids are fresh and feeble-minded. So you want to implant the minds of young kids so they can believe that this shit is okay. I can identify as a woman even though I'm a man. Or I can be a feminine man and still be in a relationship with a woman, but she can be masculine. It's all a bunch of just craziness. It's just craziness. And you got silly people in the comments saying stuff like, it's just basic. This man right here is attracted to a masculine woman. Or no, they said, this man right here is attracted to masculinity, and this woman right here is attracted to femininity. Well, why won't the damn girl be gay and the man be gay? That's how you know that it's all based in them trying to normalize, basic relationship dynamics and put a little zest on it. They trying to, excuse me, I worded that wrong. They trying to normalize weird dynamics and make it seem as if this is a part of, what you would deem as a regular, healthy relationship. And it's not. It's not. That's why you have domestic violence. The domestic violence rate in regards to lesbian couples is higher than a regular couple. Why is that? Because you have two people who are confused in a union. When it comes to lesbian gays, the domestic violence rate is higher. It's higher because it's just a bunch of confusion, man. That's all it is.
I'm a feminine presenting straight man.
Merrin and James met online after a chance comment from Merrin on TikTok sparked a conversation between the pair.
I just was posting different pictures of myself, like dress femme, dress mask, and I had commented on this other masculine girl's TikTok who was talking about how she thought that femme men were cute. And I was like, oh my God, girl, you're talking about me, honey. And then
Come on, bro. This is a vexation of spirit. That's all this shit is. When you see a grown man, a black man at that, comport and conduct himself in this weird ass fashion, it's a vexation of spirit because this is just not supposed to be. But they try to shame people who have a vexation of spirit towards this shit. Like, this person they love themselves. Who are you? Like, go back to the old ways of how you live and all this shit. That's these dumbass people who conform to this nonsense. This is nonsense. Seeing a fucking black man talking about some, oh, hey, and all this shit. Like, come on, bro. Put some bass in your fucking voice. This shit is just disturbing, bro.
saw his comment under that video. That's how I got to his profile. And then I saw his...
Look at bro. Bro got eyelashes on and shit, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's just too much. It's too much confusion in this crazy world, man. Too much of it. Ridiculous. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about my stance on this shit. Fuck your goddamn opinion. At the end of the day, this shit is wrong. It's wrong. Righteous indignation, brothers. That's all this is. When it comes to my frustration for this shit, it's righteous indignation. I get tired of seeing all this shit, and it's only gonna get worse. It's like, damn, like, sometimes I be thinking, like, why couldn't I have been born in the kingdom? Like, why couldn't the Most High preserve me for that new world, for Jacob's world? I fucking hate this shit, bro. I hate this shit. Golly.
videos, and I was like, I'll just flirt with him just for fun.
But I was also thinking in my head, like, this is just gonna be a fun little thing that happens for a couple days and then it'll be over with. I never thought that it would be a real thing.
With a connection this strong, Merrin and James were keen to meet. And even after their first date, this couple knew their relationship was going to be something.
Look at this shit, bro. Like, this is bullshit, bro. This is all bullshit. They not a real couple. And it's my belief. I could be wrong. It is what it is. I don't believe that they're a real couple. I believe that these two people were put together in order for an agenda to be pushed. Because you don't see relationships like this. Excuse me. You don't see relationships like this. Now, if you live in New York and, you know, you live in Midtown Manhattan or like the Chelsea area, you probably see relationships like this. But for the most part, this is very rare. Like, if you live in a secular area, sure, you probably see some shit like this. But they probably only in that type of dynamic because of them probably seeing a segment like this on YouTube or something like that. Most of those people, they do what they do based off of what they hear from outside stimuli or what they hear from whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they don't live their life based off of their own choices. They have to be told certain things. Like liberal people, they're only liberal because of what they've been taught. You know, like, they don't have their own fucking mind. Like, secular people, progressive, all them people, they don't have their own mind. They've been spell casted. That's all it is. When you see those people who want to live life like it's okay for you to be a part of this or be a part of that, you can be this, you can be whatever you want to be. You got people that live according to that do what thou wilt philosophy, is because they've been taught that. They've been taught that.
Special, despite not being each other's usual type.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. He likes to make the joke that I came out the womb masculine because
Honey was wearing boy clothes in elementary school.
so I've only dated girls in the past. I'm very much attracted to femininity as a whole.
See, this person should just be a fucking butch dyke lesbian. I'm sure this person is or was. Or maybe is because, like I said, I believe that this person and the other guy right, you know, next to her, they're just being used to push an agenda. I feel like what it really is this man is a homo and this person right here is a lesbian. They just want you to think that you can be a woman and still be, and still have this perception of being a lesbian or still have lesbian type of quality, like butch dyke type of characteristics. And you can be a male and still have gay qualities or gay characteristics. Because that's all this shit is. Let's just get to the nitty gritty. They want you to think that you can still be a faggot, but not be a faggot. If you get what I mean. Like, they want you to feel like they pretty much zestying up the heterosexual man. That's all this is. That's what I'm trying to say. They zestying this shit up. They trying to make the heterosexual man feel like he can be flamboyant and whatnot. Because it's a real way for them to break you down and make you conform to that nonsense. That's all it is. If I'm a heterosexual man, I'm a heterosexual man. I'm attracted to a woman. I love pussy and ass and titties and the beauty of a woman, the soft voice of a woman, the nurturing, nourishing nature of a woman. Even some of her cattiness. I love all that. Women are beautiful creatures. So in this world, they want you to feel like you can still like have that. It can still be that way, but still you a little zesty. You a little flamboyant. You like a little Nas X. And that's not flying with certain people who can see through this bullshit.
I love that just his energy is very feminine. Like, sometimes he'll like this is not, the little jacket's not feminine, but the way he's acting is feminine.
My sexuality was all over it.
Right. You get a kick out of seeing a grown man be feminine. That's how confused these fucking people are. Like, this is just nonsense. But I just wanted to just cover this just to show the type of world we living in. We already understand the world we living in, but This continues to confirm it. That's all it is. Satan shall come down with great wrath because he knows that he hath but a short time. Perilous times. This is what it is. This is what we have to go through. So when you see all these things, it just lets you know that we are living in these last days. And the Most High shall send his son to destruct this Sodom and Gomorrah spirit, this Egyptian spirit, this pagan spirit of a world. You know?